Hey guys, what's up? Hope everybody's having a good day out there today. Thanks for tuning back in and headed back over to the gym once again here today and got a few minutes to do today's video. Wanted to do one on, actually I've been wanting to do this for quite a while because it's sort of a topic of interest of mine, and that is, does the color of clothes that you wear have any effect on the fish as far as them, biting or not? So we're going to get into the discussion on that. And I'll give you guys my opinion from what I've seen in my own experience with it. But real quick, just wanted to remind everybody once again, if you guys hadn't had a chance to swing over by fishthemoment.com, just get a chance, man, go over and check it out. fishthemoment.com, all of our new lake map breakdowns. Like I said, we got Matt Steffen, myself, Johnny, all putting these lake map breakdowns out, all 4 seasons of the year, building winter lake map breakdowns right now. And just a really good resource if you want to learn more about your own lake you fish a lot, or if you got a lake that you don't know much about. This is a real good way to get a foundation on that. So check them out at fishthemoment.com. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this clothes color deal. I've always, ever since the late 1970s, I've really been sort of fascinated by this because I was a big fan of Doug Hannon, back early on. And if you guys are not familiar with Doug Hannon, he was known as the bass professor. He was one of the pioneers at really uncovering the scientific aspect of bass fishing. He did a lot of diving and basically devoted his whole life to studying bass and big bass behavior. He caught hundreds of 10-pounders in Florida. And Doug's philosophy, he fished out of a camouflaged flat bottom where he camouflaged everything on it, and he fished out with camouflage clothes and a camouflage hat a lot of times, because he felt that big bass, you basically had to be stealthy with them in order to catch them, and which I do agree with that. So over the years, I've experimented with that myself as far as, camouflage or trying to match sky colors and that type of stuff. And I've, mixed it up a little bit with that, and same with the boat colors. Back before, I got, sponsored through a boat company, I'd always paint my boats camouflage, sort of like Doug Hannon did. But I tell you what, it's been my experience that, honestly with you, I have not noticed any difference. I've had a lot of different colors of clothes. I've experimented with it a lot. And I want it to make a difference because I'm an angler that really, prides myself on being stealthy and sneaking up on fish and, doing everything I can to, sort of be a stalker, as far as stalking the fish goes. And I've experimented with, trying to match the sky color, watercolor, all that type of stuff. And to be honest with you guys, I have not seen it make that much of a difference. I've wore everything from camouflage to black to blue to yellows. I was sponsored by a company called Tarpon for years, and we had all types of pinks and yellows and bright fuchsia and all this type of stuff. Really some wild colors out there. And I did not notice any difference in my performance if I wore, a yellow shirt or a pink shirt or a blue shirt or whatever. And I don't really quite understand that, but I think a lot of it has to do with the personality of the fish and the water clarity and the water depth that you're fishing. I do believe if you're fishing really clear water where like you're dealing with cruising bass that you can see sight fish, if you can see those fish, I'm sure that they can see some type of movement and see you. Now, I don't think any of us can really understand what it looks like through a bass's eyes. We can only speculate on that, but we don't know what they see in terms of colors and movement and all that type of stuff. There's been some studies done as far as bass reacting on certain things, but basically we don't know. One of the things that I do know, there's two things that I do know, is I have seen bass spook in shallow water through my movements, my in the boat movements. So in my opinion, it's not necessarily the colors that make that big of a difference, but it's how you move in a boat, how stealthy you are and how quiet you are. I think that those elements far outweigh the color of not only the clothes that you wear, but the color of your boat as well. I mean, it's, and I'm not saying that I disagree with Doug. In fact, it makes, from all practical sense, it makes more sense to, you know, have your boat look like some log floating through the water rather than some foreign objects. But I don't think a bass really reacts to it that much. I don't think it reacts negatively to different colors that much. I think one of the important things we can do when you're fishing in shallow water, now I don't think this is a factor in deeper water, unless it's super, super, super clear. But if you're fishing shallow water that is clear, that type of stuff, I think you have to be aware of the shadows that you're casting across the water, and you know, how much noise you're having in a boat, how much the boat is rocking back and forth, and how fast you're moving around. So that's one of the reasons I try to fish without shoes most of the time if I can, is it makes me more quiet in a boat. It makes my in the boat movements a lot softer. And I know a lot of guys out there, I'm with a lot of co-anglers, that they're just, they're noisy. They slam boxes around. When they get up, they're real heavy on their feet. Try to be light on your feet in a boat. Try to move slow and watch where you're placing your feet. And if you're putting something down, try to put it down quiet. And, you know, keep your talking to a minimum, and just, you know, try to be, you know, as invisible as you possibly can, because I definitely think in certain situations, shallow water, clear water, that it's going to add up to more fish with you. But to answer the question of the topic of the video, does clothes color affect bass? No, I don't think it does. And it's sort of a interesting topic, but let me know what you guys think. I'd be curious to hear if you guys have any opinion on it. So we'll talk to y'all later. See ya.